Let go. But how can we, when grief clings like shadow to skin? Have you ever lost someone, yet their voice echoes louder in silence? Do you still carry a goodbye that was never said out loud? Welcome back, dear friends, to Son.Mindfulness. We're grateful to have you here with us today. This video may speak directly to your heart. Grief is not rare, but the pain of being the one who stays, while others leave, cuts deeply. Many over 50 carry silent wounds, hidden beneath kind smiles and quiet mornings. The world tells us to move on. But how? How do we stay calm when everything feels broken? How do we let go when love still lingers? Where does spiritual awakening even begin in such pain? Today we won't ignore your grief. We'll walk alongside it. Together, we'll explore timeless Buddhist wisdom, gentle, grounding, and profoundly healing. This is not just theory, it's real, heartfelt guidance for those who have stayed behind and still ache with memory. At Son.Mindfulness, we create content with soul, offering tools to help you let go, stay calm, and rediscover joy after loss. If this speaks to your heart, please support our journey. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice is valued here. We wish you peace, clarity, and quiet moments of awakening. You deserve to stay calm. You deserve to heal. Now, stay with us, because in the next moments, you may find something that helps you finally let go. Part 1. Loss and the weight we carry. Loss is a universal experience. No one escapes it. A parent, a partner, a friend, even a pet. When they leave, something inside us shifts. The world continues, but you don't. Not fully. You wake up, but you're not really awake. You smile, but it doesn't reach your eyes. Have you ever felt that way? As if the world moved on without asking if you were ready? If so, you're not alone. Let's take the story of General Ulysses S. Grant. After the Civil War, he lost almost everything. His money, his home, even his reputation was under fire. But what haunted him most? The passing of his daughter. People knew Grant as a fearless leader, but few knew the quiet nights he spent alone, just sitting, staring, trying to stay calm while drowning inside. When he was asked later how he survived those days, he said, "I accepted what came. There was no fight left in me, only surrender." It wasn't defeat, it was letting go. That's what Buddhism teaches us. Not to run from pain, not to deny it, but to let it pass through us, to hold it without clinging, to cry without shame, to love without possession. Loss becomes unbearable when we resist it. But what happens when we stop resisting, when we allow ourselves to feel everything, fully, completely, honestly? One woman I met in Thailand shared her story. Her son had died at age 10. For years, she wore only black. She stopped cooking. She stopped smiling. One day she walked into a temple and sat beside an old monk. She asked, "Why is this pain still here after 10 years? The monk looked at her gently and said, "Because you carry it like a stone. Let it become water." Those words broke her open. Tears, sobs, relief. She returned every week. Not to forget, but to remember differently. To let go, not of love, but of the suffering that clung to it. Letting go isn't forgetting. Letting go is spiritual awakening. Can you let go of what was, so you can welcome what is? Ask yourself now, what are you still holding on to? What story plays in your head again and again? Who do you see when you close your eyes? Are you ready to place that weight down just for a while? Are you willing to breathe without guilt, to laugh without shame, to stay calm without forcing it? You don't need to erase the past. You just need to stop building your home there. Each breath is a step forward. Each tear is a cleansing. Each moment of peace is proof that healing is possible. When the Buddha lost his own disciples and family, he didn't shut down. He sat beneath the Bodhi tree and listened, not just to the world, but to the silence within. That silence said, "Nothing lasts, but in losing, we become light." So what if you viewed loss not as a wound, but as a teacher? What has your loss taught you about love, about presence, about yourself? This is how we begin. With honesty, with stillness, with kindness toward ourselves. Loss will knock again, But now you know how to open the door, not with fear, but with peace. Because healing isn't loud, it's gentle. Like the quiet sunrise after a storm. Like your heart still beating, still here. Still you. Now let's go deeper. In the next section, we'll explore how clinging turns pain into suffering and how to let go of that grip. Get ready for part 2, clinging to the past, why it hurts more than the loss itself. Part 2. Learning to sit with suffering without drowning in it. Loss has a sneaky way of creeping into the quiet corners of your heart. One day everything feels normal, then suddenly you're gasping for air in a sea of sorrow. Have you ever sat in your living room, surrounded by silence that used to be filled with laughter? You try to carry on, but every step feels like walking through mud. This is where Buddhist wisdom becomes a lifeline. Not to escape the pain, but to understand it. The Buddha never promised a life without suffering. What he offered instead was a way to relate to it differently. He taught us to stay calm in the face of impermanence, to observe the storm without becoming it. Think of a man sitting by a river. He watches the water flow, sometimes gently, sometimes in fierce waves. He does not try to hold the water or stop it. He simply watches. Can you imagine sitting with your pain like that? Not pushing it away, not letting it pull you under. Just noticing it, labeling it. Ah, this is grief. This is longing. This is love in disguise. The great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "When we suffer, we must suffer mindfully." That means breathing with the pain instead of resisting it. It's like holding a crying child, not to make them stop, but to let them know they're not alone. Can you do that for your own heart? Can you offer it the tenderness it craves? A woman named Clara, age 67, lost her husband of 42 years. For weeks she couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. But then she began sitting with his old mug in her hands each morning. She didn't pretend he was still there. She didn't force herself to move on. She just breathed with the ache. Eventually she noticed something miraculous. The grief softened. It was still there, but no longer a wall, more like a window. Through it, she saw how deep her love was, and that love hadn't disappeared. This is what Buddhism calls the beginning of a spiritual awakening. You learn that pain is not the enemy. Clinging is. We suffer not because of the loss itself, but because we resist what has already happened. We try to rewrite the past in our minds, don't we? If only I had said more, if only I had been there. But the past is a locked door. You hold the key to a different room, the present, right now, right here. Can you accept that? Can you let go of the need for a different ending? That's where peace begins. Not in forgetting, but in allowing. Not in escaping, but in embracing. The second noble truth in Buddhism tells us suffering arises from craving. And craving is a form of war, a war against reality. But if you want to find peace, you must lay down your weapons. Sit in stillness. Feel the ache. Stay calm in the storm. This doesn't make you weak. It makes you free. A spiritual awakening is not a lightning bolt. It's more like a candle, soft, flickering, but enough to guide you forward. And you don't have to walk alone. The Buddha walked this path too. So did millions of others before you. So will millions after. You are not broken. You are becoming. Let go of the need to fix what cannot be fixed. Instead, let yourself be healed by what is true. That life is impermanent. That loss is part of love. That you can hurt and still be whole. That you can feel grief and still let go. Take a breath. Feel your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. You are here. And that is enough. Coming up next, we explore how grief reveals the depth of our love and how to turn that love into your new strength. In part 3, the hidden gift of grief, discovering love within the loss. Part 3, the hidden gift of grief, discovering love within the loss. What if grief wasn't just pain? What if it was love, disguised? When someone leaves your life, their absence screams louder than words. But in Buddhism, absence is not emptiness. It's presence in another form. Have you ever smelled someone's clothes after they're gone? Not to hold on, but to remember. That memory, that ache, it's love still living inside you. This is the hidden gift of grief. It doesn't destroy love, it reveals it. Grief is the echo of your love bouncing back from silence. It's painful, yes. But isn't pain a sign that something once mattered deeply? In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "He who loves 50 people has 50 woes, but he who loves no one has no woes." So the sorrow in your heart is proof. Proof that you loved well, deeply, honestly. Can you see your tears not as weakness, but as sacred devotion? Let that sink in. Because here's a question that changes everything. What if grief is love with nowhere to go? Now imagine if you could give it somewhere to go. Not by replacing what you've lost, but by honoring it. By living in a way that reflects the love you had and still carry. Let's meet someone who did just that. His name was Alan. At 58, Alan lost his daughter in a sudden car accident. She was his only child. His world shattered. But months later, instead of hiding from his grief, he started a small community garden in her name. She loved plants. He didn't plant it to distract from the pain. He planted it to give his pain a voice. Each flower became a word. Each weed pulled a prayer. He told me once, "Every rose in that garden is her hugging me back." That's what happens when we stop clinging to what was and instead channel our love into what is. That is the heart of spiritual awakening. It's not about denying the darkness. It's about lighting a candle and walking through it with grace. The question now becomes, what do you want to do with the love they left behind? You can turn it into something sacred, a ritual, a practice, even a story you share with others who are hurting. Grief becomes your teacher, and your teacher says, "Stay calm, keep walking, you're not alone." Even Buddha knew grief. He left his family to seek truth. He sat under the Bodhi tree with every ache in his chest. He didn't run from it, he sat with it. And what did he discover? That behind every sorrow is the same truth. Everything changes. But love, when understood, does not end. Love changes shape. From presence to memory, from voice to silence, from a body beside you to a whisper within you. It becomes part of your breath. And every time you let go, you're not forgetting them. You're freeing them, and you're freeing yourself. So breathe in, say their name softly, and ask yourself, what would they want for you now? Would they want you stuck in sorrow? Or would they want you to live fully in their honor, to smile again, to help someone else, to walk by a river and feel them in the wind? That's how you turn pain into peace. That's how you let go without erasing love. That's how grief becomes your guide, not your prison. And that's how you begin to live again. Still hurting? Of course. Still healing? Always. But broken? No. You are rebuilding. And your foundation now is made of gold. The gold of a heart that loved. A heart that still loves. A heart that now sees the beauty in impermanence. And the strength in staying calm. Are you ready to use that strength? Because in the next part, we'll explore how letting go isn't forgetting, but a brave act of love that sets you and them free. Coming up next, part 4, letting go without forgetting, a new way to love beyond attachment. Part 4, letting go without forgetting, a new way to love beyond attachment. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It doesn't mean the love disappears. It means you're learning to love without holding on so tight it hurts. In Buddhism, there's a gentle truth. Attachment brings suffering. But wait, does that mean you can't love deeply? Not at all. It means learning a higher form of love. A love that's free. A love that says, I carry you in my heart, not in my hands. Think about a butterfly. If you hold it too tightly, you crush it. But if you open your palms, it might stay. This is what it means to let go with grace. You're not letting go of the person. You're letting go of the pain, the control, the illusion of permanence. Still, many people fear this step. They think, if I let go, will I lose the connection? No, you deepen it. You transform it. Let's look at one powerful story. A Japanese Zen master, whose wife passed away after 30 years of marriage, was asked, "Do you miss her?" He smiled and said, "She's never left. She is in every breath, every cup of tea, every moment of silence." That is love beyond attachment. That is the spiritual awakening of grief. Letting go is not turning your back on the past. It's turning your heart toward the present, with love still inside you. Pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what if letting go is an act of deep love, not betrayal? What if by staying calm, you open space for peace to enter, and in that peace, their memory becomes a blessing, not a burden? Now imagine you're holding a photo of someone you lost. You don't cry anymore every time you see it. You smile. Not because you've moved on, but because you've moved forward. There's a difference. Moving on feels like leaving them behind. Moving forward means carrying them differently. Can you feel that shift? It's subtle, but it's powerful. Letting go is trusting the river, not fighting the current. You flow, you breathe, you heal. Even the Buddha taught this through a story of a woman named Tissa Gotami. She lost her only child. In despair, she went to the Buddha, begging for medicine. He told her to bring a mustard seed from a home untouched by death. She searched, but every home had known loss. Finally, she understood. Grief was universal, and in that moment, she let go of resistance and woke up. This is the essence of spiritual awakening. You don't erase the past, you understand it, you hold it lightly, and in doing so, your suffering transforms into compassion. So, how can you begin letting go today? Here are 3 simple ways. 1. Speak their name out loud with love, not in pain, but in peace. 2. Create a ritual, light a candle, write a letter, walk their favorite path. 3. Give your love a new direction, help someone, smile at a stranger, plant a tree in their honor. Every act becomes a continuation of your love, not an end. You stay calm, you breathe, you begin again. Yes, there are days you'll feel the ache rise. That's okay. But now you have tools, you have understanding. You know that letting go is not a one-time act. It's a daily, sacred practice. And each time you do it, you heal more, you grow more, you love deeper. This is what it means to love without clinging, to remember without reliving, to stay present without staying stuck. And this is the heart of healing. Let go and love remains. Let go and freedom begins. Let go and you live again. Are you ready for the final part of this journey? Because in part 5, we'll explore how to rebuild life after loss, with hope, purpose, and a soul that has awakened through sorrow. Coming up next, part 5, Life After Loss, Rebuilding with Peace, Purpose, and a New Spiritual Strength. Part 5, Life After Loss, Rebuilding with Peace, Purpose, and a New Spiritual Strength. They left. You stayed. Now what? You've cried, you've questioned, you've learned to let go, but now it's time to do something even braver. Live. Not just survive, not just get through the day, but truly live again. This is not easy, but it's possible. And more than that, it's beautiful. After a great loss, life feels like broken glass. Sharp, scattered, dangerous to touch. But over time, if you stay calm and gather the pieces gently, something amazing can happen. You can turn pain into art, loss into meaning, emptiness into space for something new. That is spiritual awakening. Let's pause here. What if your grief isn't the end of your story? What if it's the beginning of a new chapter? One that honors the past but creates a future. You're not betraying the one you lost by smiling again. You're honoring them by choosing joy again. There's a man in Oregon named Thomas. He lost his wife of 40 years. She loved gardening. He couldn't bear to touch her garden after she passed. But one spring, he planted tulips and roses and lilies. Neighbors started stopping by, asking for advice. Then came the idea. He opened a community grief garden. Now, every year, people plant something in memory of someone they lost. The garden blooms, and so do the hearts. That is healing. That is purpose. That is what it means to rebuild. Can you feel that? It's not forgetting, it's transforming. You stayed. So ask yourself, how will I use this time I've been given? Maybe you write. Maybe you volunteer. Maybe you teach others how to let go. You don't need to climb a mountain or give a TED talk. Just take one step toward the light, then another. Each small step is sacred. Each choice to smile again is an act of courage. Remember, you are not broken. You are breaking open. And in that opening, something new is born. New strength, new softness, new faith. But also, new boundaries, new priorities, new eyes to see what truly matters. Maybe you slow down, maybe you stop needing more. You start needing meaning. That is spiritual awakening. Buddha once said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." But you're not alone on the path. We're walking together. Every tear you've cried has watered a seed. That seed? It becomes wisdom. It becomes compassion. It becomes your light. So now breathe. Place your hand over your heart and say, "I'm still here. I'm still breathing, and I will live with love." From here forward, speak their name with a smile. Share their story with someone new. Let your days be shaped by love, not fear. Because they left, but you stayed, not by accident, by purpose. You have something only you can give to the world. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most sacred part of loss. It awakens your soul to what matters. It strips away what's fake. It reveals what's real. This is not the end of your story. This is the return to your truest self. So stay calm, let go, and awaken. Because your second life begins the moment you understand. Grief was your teacher. Love is your legacy. Peace is your path. And you are not alone. We are here with you. Every step, every breath, every silent tear and hopeful sunrise, you are not just surviving, you are becoming. And this is your time to live again. Conclusion. Letting go with grace, awakening with peace. Life is full of meetings and partings. Some people walk beside us but not forever. They leave, sometimes suddenly. And we stay. We carry the echoes of their laughter. We remember the warmth of their presence. But now, we walk this road alone. It's not easy to lose someone you love. It changes how the world feels. Even breathing can feel heavier, but pain is also a teacher. It points us to our hearts and reminds us what truly matters. You have just completed a deep reflection. Through Buddhist wisdom, you've seen how let go is not forgetting. It's releasing the suffering tied to memory. You've seen that spiritual awakening is born in the silence after loss, and that peace comes when we learn to stay calm inside our storm. Now ask yourself, are you still holding on to what is already gone? What do you feel when you sit in silence? Can you sense your own breath as a gift? Many wise souls have stood where you stand. Queen Malika, after losing her daughter, learned to find joy again in serving others. King Ashoka, devastated by war, awakened spiritually and spread peace across India. Even great generals, after battles and losses, found stillness in the teachings of the Buddha. Your loss does not mean your life ends. It becomes a doorway. Behind it lies gentleness, compassion, and the strength to love again. You are not alone. Others have walked this same path. Your story matters. Would you share it with us in the comments? What helped you heal after your loss? What still lingers in your heart? Your reflection today shows courage. Not everyone chooses to face suffering. You did. That alone is a sign of inner awakening. Honor that. So now, take a deep breath. Let the tears come if they must. Then smile softly. Not because everything is okay, but because you are choosing peace anyway. Let this video be a gentle companion. Come back when you need comfort. Use it to calm your thoughts. Use it to remember. You're not broken. You're awakening. At Son.Mindfulness, we walk with you. Every video is made with care, to support your heart, to ease your mind, and to remind you that healing is possible. If this touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone in need, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more souls, and it keeps this light burning for others. Take a moment. Type a thought below. We read every comment, and we reply with gratitude. May your days be filled with peace. May your nights be restful. May your heart find balance again. And when you feel lost, return to your breath. Return to this moment. Let go of the weight, welcome your own spiritual awakening, and always stay calm. Thank you.